Hello, this is Dr. Dheeraj Masapu, and medicine has always been one of the most economically safer choices since the ancient time. Okay, compared to law, engineering, and finance, where you're seeing a lot of job market fluctuations, layoffs happening, and only few reach the top. Okay, medicine has always been considered as a steady work and consistent demand is there, and public respect also is there. So that is why many people choose this path. Okay, but I'm going to tell you some of the things no one actually tell you. That is the truth. Okay, behind medicine, and is it safer or not? Is what I'm going to tell you now. So before you become a doctor, what you really need to understand is there is certain level of endurance that you need to have before becoming a doctor. It is not about economics and all that. So because there are a lot of night duties that you need to stretch mentally and physically, there is a lot of exam preparation that is required for years and years and decades sometimes. And there is, even after finishing, there is hyper competitive environment after the thing to practice. So all these kind of challenges can only be met if you have the endurance level required to actually survive. I'll tell you one more reality that 1 lakh plus people are actually coming out in MBBS every year, and the doctor patient ratio is around 1 is to 840 at present, and recommended WHO 1 is to 1000. By 2030-35, it might reach to 1 is to 300 or 400 in India. So that is more like hyper competitive environment would be created here, and it will become more like a battlefield in future. So with this intro, I would like to tell you who should choose medicine. So as I told you, it is a little safer compared to other fields like engineering, finance, law, and other things. Not those fields. If you are best, even you will shine there. But the thing is, in medicine, even if you are actually average, 30 to 40% of people will do good here. Okay. So before proceeding, I'll tell you what is one test that you need to answer before entering medicine. If you are a parent, if you're getting your child into medicine, or if you are an MBBS, if you are actually 12th standard person trying to become a doctor, you have to do this particular test before entering medicine to understand whether you have the endurance level required to enter medicine or not. So this test will have 10 questions, and then 0 to 10 is a scale. You take a pen and paper and then answer. Okay. If your score is above 60, you can become a doctor. Okay. Number one question: can you stay calm during a high stress and emergency situation? Okay. 0 to 10 scale, where do you stand? Can you function effectively with 3 to 4 hours of sleep? In night calls, you have to actually work efficiently even with very less sleep. Have you ever studied? This is the third question. Have you ever studied consistently for 10 plus hours every day for months and months together? Okay, fourth question. Can you delay the gratification for decades? Sometimes, up to 2 decades, you have to delay the gratification to build your career. Can you do that? In a scale of 0 to 10, please answer. Are you comfortable with failures? Okay, despite of putting good results. Okay, next question. Do you have a deep curiosity for biology, human systems, and diseases and all that? Next question. Can you sacrifice your weekends, holidays without frustration? Okay. And then the next question. Are you okay being accountable for someone else's life every day? Okay. Do you have the emotional strength to face the death and suffering every day? And can you deal with this disrespect from the patients and families if something really is not going well? Okay, if you are actually crossing 60 points in this particular endurance test, please welcome to medicine. If you are below 40, please don't enter medicine because you cannot take the endurance required to become a doctor. Okay, between 40 to 60, you are trainable still. You can choose medicine and get trained after that. So then what now I'm going to tell you is, if you pass your endurance test, then these are the strategies that you have to follow. Here I would like to explain a very important concept called neuromarketing in the later part of the video. First, let me tell you, by 2030-35, if you are coming out as a doctor, so what is the one skill that will differentiate you from other, in the hyper competitive environment? Number one thing, the most important thing is excellence. You need to have excellence in the field where you're working. So how good you are, because so many good people would be there, how good you are. And among the good people, you need to be excellent. Okay, you need to be diagnosing fast, you need to act confidently, you have to manage the patients well. And so this excellence cannot be achieved alone. You have to work under great mentors. Here I would like to tell you something. I believe in ancient type of learning. Okay, even in the modern world, you have to work. You have to respect your seniors and mentors. You have to sit with them and observe how they're doing. And then I feel you have to work for years and years and years after, even after your training, under good mentors, so that you are actually an apprentice and you work under them, like how the kings used to go to saints those days and spend years and sometimes decades to actually learn the skills of war from them. In that way, you have to learn the skills of war and then learn the skills of medicine, and then you have to come into practice. That means come into the battlefield in future. That is how it is going to be. So that is the most important thing. So excellence is what you have to build. So you have to be a master in the zone where you are working. So this is about how much. So for this, lot of effort, hard work, endurance are required. Okay, keep all this aside. Second, in future, you can't be a generalist and tell that I'll do everything. Okay, it is more, if you tell that I'll do everything, it is more like telling I don't do anything. It is something like that. So what you have to do is you have to find one niche where you have passion in. Okay, for example, I like anesthesia. In that again, I like neuro anesthesia. Before entering, I never actually calculated what is the scope, what is the demand supply, and all that. What I calculated is I have passion in this field. So I will become excellent here, and then whatever happens will happen. And things are working out for me because I actually, even though it's a niche area, even though the scope for market is less, since I have passion in that, I could actually reach excellence. Okay, or I'm trying to reach the excellence in that, and so it will obviously work out in some period of time. So this is what actually you need to do. You have to go to one niche area and work there. So when you're going to niche area, another important thing that you have to consider. So when you go super niche, what you have to make sure is the incidence of the disease is still there in the area where you're practicing. For example, if you're working on epilepsy, or if you're working as an interventional pulmonologist, or you're working on sports injuries only pertinent to one kind of a sport, and all that, when you're doing such kind of things, what might happen is, for example, if the disease is not there, incidence is very less, it will be a very risky option. So what you need to do is, when you are working with your mentors, that is the first thing I told you, you need to be in touch with them. You have to tell them that this is the kind of niche that I'm going to enter. Only your mentor can actually tell you that there is some business potential in this particular niche. If it is hyper niched out, then if patients are not there, when you become a neuro, endovascular, pediatric, something, if you take like that, there wouldn't be any patient there. Okay, or hardly some 10 patients will be there in India. So with that, you can't survive. So you have to go to a niche. At the same time, some level of incidence also should be there in that particular area. Okay, so that's about that. And then the next strategy to succeed is the neuro marketing. This is a very important concept that you have to understand. So many people nowadays, I'm seeing doctors mainly, they when WhatsApp forwards will come, they will tell I have done this surgery, or a newspaper, there's some this kind of some uterus removing all that. See, if you are a patient, then you have to attract patients in a subtly. Patients should come to you. You shouldn't look like you are actually begging for patients to come. So that is not the way it works out. So you have to be in a situation where patients are actually coming to you, searching for you. That is where you have to position yourself. So here you have to understand what is a concept called as neuromarketing. I'll explain you. Okay, you understand what I'm telling. So this is a research which is done by a scientist called as Dunbar, and these are called as Dunbar's numbers, which I'm going to tell you now. There is something called as 7-11 rule, which Dunbar has discovered. So this 7-11 rule says that if you actually spend 7 hours with somebody, or if you have 11 interactions with somebody, you will start trusting them, you will start believing them. So this is called as Dunbar's numbers. So for example, let me tell you, you are part of some platform. For example, you are either LinkedIn, you are writing posts continuously, or releasing your videos and all that. If somebody has followed you for 11 times, according to Dunbar's numbers, he will start trusting you. That means he will, for example, if he gets the disease, he will find you, he will come to you. Okay, you don't have to, go and do, propaganda saying that, please come to my clinic, put some banners and all that. So certainly, if you are educating people in a very genuine way, and then some platform if you choose, and then write the relevant content, addressing problems of the people, not marketing, addressing problems of the people. If you write relevant content, even though you don't get millions of views, the person who is having the problem will follow you 11 times, and 12th time will come to you. So that is called trust. So that is the trust which is built, and it is proven by Dunbar, and it is called as neuromarketing. That is what you're supposed to do. So if you are watching this video, and if you really want to understand how the platforms work and which platform is best for you, and which platform should you choose, actually, there is a mentoring program which I'm doing where I can explain you this. about neuromarketing and digital presence, and how to actually do it in a subtle way so that people come to you rather than you going to them and putting your videos in all the platforms, forwarding them and all that. That doesn't work out like that. So this is a very important thing that you have to understand now for future. Okay, and next. What you can do is next, the important aspect next is personal branding. So personal branding is very important. Some people think that they are staying in a very big hospital and hospital branding is enough for them. That is absolutely false. The reality is, even say hospital branding is very important. You have to work in premium hospitals. That will make your CV look better when somebody is searching. But your personal brand is very important in that. Personal brand is actually built when you have your own research, your own books, chapters written, your own social media presence, your own following of people for that particular disease or subject or whatever you talk about. So this actually differentiates you. Okay, so this actually gets you the Dunbar's numbers and trust is built. This is the most important thing. Okay, so the last important thing that I would like to tell you is play a long game. Okay, it's not about some flashy 3-year win or 5-year win or something like that. Medicine will disappoint you if you think like that. So you will be respected over a period of 30 years. Your rewards will come in 15-20 years. Play the game of compounding in medicine. Okay, invest your time, skill, and energy, and then with integrity, if you work, you will become success in over a period of time. So to conclude, what I'm trying to tell is, if you love biology, okay, if you admire doctors, please come. And then if you have the mental endurance, if you got 60 plus in that particular test, please join. And this video is not to discourage people who don't have the endurance, but it's to just give you clarity about what it takes to become a doctor. So then let's begin the journey if you really want. And if some parents or 12th standard person or somebody is watching the video and come till this part of the video, so what I recommend is, if you really are in a confusion whether to become a doctor or not, okay, so what I recommend is we can have a chat, but thing is, if I sit one-on-one only, I can tell you guys whether you can really become doctor or not. But the thing is, it is not that me deciding. It is after doing the test, it is you. If you have that endurance, you can become a doctor. But still, if you really want to sit and chat with me, then there is a link in the description. You can actually take that mentoring and then I can sit one-on-one with you. But there is some waiting list. It will take some time. Even if you actually enroll for that mentoring, it might take a month's time because there are so many people, in the waiting list. Okay. So thank you guys. Thank you parents who are watching this video. Thank you all the 12th standard people who are watching this video, and all my followers who actually watch every video of mine and encourage me to do such kind of videos. And I'm planning to do a lot of podcasts in future with a lot of specialty guys, super specialty guys, people who have built hospitals, and then people who have gone abroad and all that. So that is the strategy of the channel for future. And then please subscribe to the channel and you click on the bell button, be in the loop so that you get notification when I put awesome videos like this in future. So thank you all. Thank you very much for following the video till now. Bye.